Yeah, thank you, Chair. Mr. Commissioner, recently it has been approved in Spain an amnesty law to put an end to the repression against Catalan activists, political leaders and journalists for political issues. That is why I would like to know if the current abuse of anti-terrorist law from some judges to persecute them will be reflected in the new Universal Periodic Review of Spain. Thank you.
Mr. TÜRK, you have the floor.
National minorities, I think this is definitely an issue that will require much more attention. And frankly, we have looked, from the United Nations, we have really looked at the Framework Convention on National Minorities that you have developed, and I think it's a very important tool. But I think globally, the minority issue is in fact addressing almost a root cause of potential conflict and violence. If it's not addressed, we always see problems. So I think a lot more emphasis has to be put on success stories when it comes to the protection of national minorities. And minorities more general, ethnic, the whole definition that we have in the declaration. By the way, I should also mention indigenous populations. You have it less in Europe, but in other parts, especially in Africa, but also in Latin America, there are huge issues of the lack of protection of indigenous peoples. And again, it's one issue that will require a lot more attention. On the resources, look, I think the human rights system more generally lacks the resources that it needs. Be very frank and open with you. I was shocked when I became High Commissioner to see that I have essentially an underfunded and undergraded office. I don't know. I think in the Council of Europe, probably many of you would say the same when it comes to human rights. I think we need to make sure that the political leadership and those who have the key to the finance ministries actually realize that investment in human rights is actually an investment in prevention, in making sure that we can actually have some more success stories, and in fundamental social transformations that are so absolutely critical for our world. But I don't think this has yet sunk in. So we need to do a lot more work, and it is clear that all of us need to work much more in unisono while respecting our independence, but need to work much more together in order to get the best out of all the brain trust that we have within ourselves. Look, on the last question, to be honest, I don't know what will end up in the UPR submissions, but I'm sure they will look at each and every aspect of it, including on, I'm not controlling it because it's a peer review by member states, and obviously not for me to answer that as such. Thank you very much.
So, Mr. TÜRK, we want to thank you